on the internet. Antenna swing, the skip is long. We're singing the ham radio song. Spin that dial, let's catch some heat. 40 meters never felt so sweet. At the amateur radio roundtable, with coax lines and power cables, D expeditions, QSLs.
Mic test 1 2. Hello out there, everybody. You're tuned into Amateur Radio Roundtable, a show about ham radio, shortwave, electronics. Glad to have you. If you're out there listening on International Shortwave, WBCQ on 7490, we'd love to hear from you. Send us an email. Let us know where you are and how you're hearing the station tonight. You can also tune in too and watch the video and join us in the chat room, just simply by going to w5kub.com. And if you tuned us in on any of the podcasts out there, you're gonna notice that we have about 30 minutes of music pre-show. So that's what you're hearing. If you don't want to hear the show, the music, just fast forward and you'll pick the video up about 30. It'll start about 30 minutes in. Thank you.
CQ out.
And I'll say hello, K4HEF. Hiya. KE8FTH. Howdy. Welcome back, Clifton. Glad to see you tonight. All right, K4HEF. What's your location? Where are you located?
CQ on the air tonight. Roundtable's lit and the signal's tied.
All right, great. Glad to have you.
The static fades, I twist the knob. The shack comes alive, this is my job. LEDs glow, antennas high, another night beneath the sky.
Well, Bill, we're on everywhere. We're on w5kub.com. We're on x.com. We're on our Facebook group of 14,000 members. And we're on YouTube, so we're everywhere tonight streaming live.
We're all plugged in, solid and stable. W5 keys calling loud and proud, spinning stories through the static cloud. From KWU5GP to Doobie West 7BG, we're rocking the bands wild and free. Glenn's got mods on a breadboard bass. Brett's breaking news from a distant place. Tom's at the helm like a seasoned vet, streaming it live on the internet. Antenna swing, the skip is long. We're singing the ham radio song. Spin that dial, let's catch some heat. 40 meters never felt so sweet. At the amateur radio roundtable.
Hey, Clifton, that's a good deal, man. Congratulations on the TS440S. Hello, Alan. WK0Q. Good to see you again.
CQ, rockin' worldwide. Mic in hand and a call sign pride. The amateur radio roundtable. Story strong and signal stable. So key it up.
Hey guys, tonight we're going to be talking about antennas, and we're going to be talking about baluns, and probably a lot of other things.
CQ out.
All right, I don't know why our playlist keeps shutting off here. That's not good.
CQ on the air tonight. Roundtable's lit and the signal's tied. The static fades, I twist the knob. The shack comes alive, this is my job. LEDs glow, antennas high, another night beneath the sky. I'm calling out, hear that tone. Across the globe, I'm not alone. The net's alive and I'm checking in. Let the conversation begin. Or at the amateur radio roundtable, we're all plugged in, solid and stable. W5 keys calling loud and proud, spinning stories through the static cloud. From KWU5GP to Doobie West 7BG, we're rocking the bands wild and free. Got mods on a breadboard base. Brett's breaking news from a distant place. Tom's at the helm like a seasoned vet, streaming it live on the internet.
Got a lot of different
Antenna swing, the skip
uns,
we're singing the ham radio song. Spin that dial,
baluns,
let's catch some heat. 40 meters never felt so
chokes.
sweet.
We're going to talk about a lot of things tonight.
Radio roundtable with coax lines and power cables. D expeditions, QSLs. We got more ham than a southern belle. From KWU5GP to Doobie West 7BG, we're working the world wild and free.
We may open the phone lines a little later tonight. Hello, Mark P. KE8HIW. Welcome again. Yeah, I don't want to get choked up. I was choked up for about 5 weeks, and I don't want to do that again.
Mic in hand and a call sign pride. The amateur radio roundtable. Story strong and signal stable. So key it up and call your name in this wild RF Hall of Fame. From KWU5GP to you and me, we're hamming hard 7 to 3. CQ out. CQ on the air tonight. Roundtable's lit and the signal's tied. The static fades, I twist the knob. The shack comes alive, this is my job. LEDs glow, antennas high, another night beneath the sky. I'm calling out, hear that tone. Across the globe, I'm not alone. The net's alive and I'm checking in. Let the conversation begin. Or at the amateur radio roundtable, we're all plugged in, solid and stable. W5 keys calling loud and proud, spinning stories through the static cloud. From KWU5GP to Doobie West 7BG, we're rocking the bands wild and free. Got mods on a breadboard base. Brett's breaking news from a distant place. Tom's at the helm like a seasoned vet, streaming it live on the internet. Antenna swing, the skip is long. We're singing the ham radio song. Spin that dial, let's catch some heat. 40 meters never felt so sweet. rockin' worldwide. Mic in hand and a call sign pride. Yeah, the amateur radio roundtable. Story strong and signal stable. So key it up and call your name in this wild RF Hall of Fame. From KW5GP to you and me, we're hamming hard 7 to 3. CQ out. Do CQ on the air tonight. The roundtable's lit and the signal's tied. But static fades, I twist the knob. The shack comes alive, this is my job. LEDs glow, antennas high. Another night beneath the sky. I'm calling out, hear that tone. Across the globe, I'm not alone. The net's alive and I'm checking in. Let the conversation begin. Or at the amateur radio roundtable, we're all plugged in, solid and stable. W5 keys calling loud and proud, spinning stories through the static cloud. From KW5GP to Doobie West 7BG, we're rocking the bands wild and free.
All right, this is W5KUB.com, Amateur Radio Roundtable you're listening to out there on shortwave on WBCQ. The show will start here in about 20 minutes. This is pre-show music where we just set up and say hello to people in the chat room. You can join us on Tuesday nights at 8 o'clock at W5KUB. And you can listen to us on WBCQ shortwave radio station on Thursdays from 5 to 7 p.m. Eastern on 7490 kilohertz. The show will start in about 20 minutes if you're tuned in just through shortwave, or maybe if you're looking at the recorded part of YouTube. The show will actually start in about 20 minutes. So if you don't like the music, just fast forward through.
CQ, rockin' worldwide. Mic in hand and a call sign pride. Yeah, the amateur radio roundtable. Story strong and signal stable. So key it up and call your name in this wild RF Hall of Fame. From KW5GP to you and me, we're hamming hard 7 to 3. CQ out. Do.
All right, I got to do something about our playlist here. It doesn't seem to be working right. Let's see. Let me see if I can fix that. We're going to add a playlist. Make a list. All right, we're getting there.
antennas high, another night beneath the sky. I'm calling out, hear that tone, across the globe, I'm not alone. The net's alive and I'm checking in, let the conversation begin. More at the Amateur Radio Roundtable, we're all plugged in, solid and stable. W5KUB's calling loud and proud, spinning stories through the static cloud. From KW5GP to you and me, 7BG, we're rocking the bands, wild and free. Glenn's got mods on a breadboard bass, Brett's breaking news from a distant place. Tom's at the helm like a seasoned vet, streaming it live on the internet. Antenna swing, the skip is long, we're singing the ham radio song. Spin that dial, let's catch some heat, 40 meters never felt so sweet. Oh, at the Amateur Radio Roundtable, with coastlines and power cables, the expeditions, QSLs, we've got more ham than a southern belle. From KW5GP to you and me, 7BG, we're working the world, wild and free. Rockin' we're over the rear, then you're the round table. Story strong and signal stable, so key it up and call your name in this wild RF Hall of Fame. From KW5GQ and me, we're hamming hard 7-3. Da, 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 out. Tune it in, the static fades, MF. Voices rising on the RF waves. Every night it's time to go, ham fams meeting on the video. Tom W5KUB's in control, a ham pushing the stream with that broadcast soul. From shack to screen, near or far, he's the reason we know who we are. It's the Amateur Radio Roundtable, and live and loud rocking every label. We're on at 8 Central every night, with signals clear and spirits bright. With Tom, Glenn, KW5GP, and Brett WY7BG, and a shout out to Mark P. You know, he brings the heat. Join the crew and tag along at W5KUB.com. Glenn's in deep with the DIY MF, building radios that touch the sky. Schematic dreams and soldered art, he brings that maker's heart. Then Brett's on air, strong and clear, rocking Wyoming from ear to ear. He's wrangling signals like a boss, showing the world what hams don't toss. It's the Amateur Radio Roundtable. We're loud, we're more than cable. 8 o'clock Central, that's the call. Log in, check in, don't miss it at all. Tom, Glenn, Brett, and Mark on screen, with hams worldwide in the in-between. Come on now, don't be gone. We're at W5KUB.com. We're live, we're more than cable. 8 o'clock Central, that's the call. Log in, check in, don't miss it at all. Tom, Glenn, Brett, and Mark on screen, with hams worldwide in the in-between. Come on now, don't be gone. Tuesdays here, it's that time again. MF, fire up the rig, call your friends. Grab your coffee, pull up a chair. MF, we're going live and the gang's all there. Tom W5KUB's in control, streaming the show with a whole lot of soul. At W5KUB.com we unite. Ham radio magic every Tuesday night. It's the best ham radio show online. Amateur radio roundtable every time. Glenn K, W5GP, tech so bright. Brett WY7BG, signals just right. Hey! And Mark P's there in the chat room too. And laugh and learn and sending questions through. Tune in 8 p.m. the moment's right. At W5KUB.com Tuesday night. There's a chat room buzzing, full of cheer, and talk with the hosts, they're always near. Building antennas, talking DX dreams, living that life on the ham radio scene. From soldered rigs to the latest news, solar flares or a vintage tube. Come as you are, everyone's tight. We're family here on a Tuesday night. It's the best ham radio show online. Amateur radio roundtable every time. Glenn K, W5GP, tech so bright. Brett WY7BG, signals just right. And Mark P's there in the chat room too. And laugh and learn and sending questions through. Tune in 8 p.m. the moment's right. At W5KUB.com Tuesday night.
Well, we got Brett here. I see Glenn has logged into the chat room. He should be here in a minute. You're listening to W5KUB.com, Amateur Radio Roundtable. And we'll be starting here in about 8 minutes for our Amateur Radio Roundtable. It's a show about shortwave ham radio, electronics, and so forth. Please stick around and join us. If you're listening to one of our audio podcasts, and you don't like the music, some people don't like it, just fast forward about 8 minutes more in and you'll hear it. You'll hear the show or you'll see the show.
W5KUB.com. Got the dial set, coffee in my hand, MC.
Okay, guys, tonight I've got, I want to go through a number of the antennas I've been working on tonight. Show you what I've got here at the station. Also, I want to talk about baluns, uns, chokes, and some hints and kinks on antennas.
Oh, I should go and grab some so I can show them.
Yeah, and I mean, there you go, man. That's how you put an insulator on the end of an antenna. Just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Okay. Do I have audio tonight?
Do you have what, Brett?
What? Do I have audio?
What was that, Glenn?
Do I have audio? Obviously I do. Since
you do. You do. You're learning how to work that thing, man. I'm proud of you.
No, the app seems to be stabilizing.
Every Tuesday night. It's more than mics and modulation. It's heart and soul in every station. From kits and code to satellites, we learn, we laugh, we share the nights. So grab your rig, grab your crew, it's always something cool and new. No matter the band, no matter the zone, you'll feel at home when you click that tone. It's the best ham radio show online. Amateur radio roundtable every time.
Well, I turned Glenn up a notch or two.
Tune in every Tuesday night.
I turned Glenn up a notch or two. I'm probably hitting it pretty hard here.
Probably.
Yeah, let me back mine down a little bit. You know, I'm trying to get used to this mic right here. If I talk right into it, I'm loud. If I talk facing away from it, I'm low. But I think it sounds better than the lapel mics I was using. So, hey, I'm giving it a try.
Yep.
I think if I have the audio cranked up high enough that you can hear me if I turn my head. Oh boy, let's see what we got here. What do we got here? What do we got here? What is? Let me see the other end of that. Let me see the other end of that. The other end. Oh. That's kind of similar to something like one of these.
Yep.
Kind of, sort of.
Yep. This is a 4-to-1 voltage balun, which is exactly what you need if you're doing an OCF dipole.
Roundtable, full of work, tune in 8 p.m. Tuesday nights at W5KUB.
Here's an LDG 1-to-1.
LDG 1-to-1.
Yep. So this is you've got one just like it. This is the RU 1:1.
In the future, one note at a time, explaining it easy like a nursery rhyme. And then Brett WI7BG hits the stream.
And then I've got, let's see if I can hold it up, this.
Oh yeah, cool.
This is a 9-to-1, attached to a bunch of wire, and it's an 84 foot and 17 foot.
From QRP to satellites in flight, Tom's got you covered, he's bringing the light. Come on now, don't miss the view.
Yeah, okay, we're going to talk about balance. We're going to talk about balance and uns tonight in spaghetti tangled up wire. Yeah, man. Well, I've got about 2 minutes before the show starts.
The chat lights up. Stories shared over coffee.
Oh, and one more balun. This is a monster.
Oh, man. Well, let's see, I've got a... How you like this one right here? 5 kilowatt.
Yep.
I just took it down. It's been in service out there for 6 years. A little dirty. There were some ants inside it here. I cleaned it out. I guess they went into little weep holes there on the bottom. So we're going to talk about all kinds of balance and stuff tonight and just look at some different ones made and some of the cheap ones, some of the more expensive ones. We got about 1 minute and we'll get started here. Yeah, that's cool.
This particular one is a 12-to-1.
A 12-to-1. Look at here, man. I got a 6-to-1. 6-to-1.
Mm-hmm.
Questions fly, the chat
And this is a monster, though. This will do 2 kilowatts.
Yeah.
Laughs and lessons on the air. Tuesday nights, we're all there. It's the best show on earth. Amateur radio roundtable.
So yeah, you've got material here just to jump in on our balun discussion tonight, and Glenn, you too. Anybody got anything additional to that?
Not really.
Well, let's see. There's what's going on at the FCC now that they're open for business again, and that's going to be important.
I saw your
licenses are about to expire.
I saw your note there. There's been a lot of people complaining about the shutdown.
Yeah, well, you know, the DECs have been sending the test results to the FCC, and the FCC hasn't been able to process them.
Tune it in, the static fades a myth. Voices rising on the RF wave.
All right, I've got 8 o'clock. I think we can probably get started here. Let's see if we can figure out how to get started here. We'll start off with just real quick here with the Roundtable band. We'll just play about 30 seconds or so of it.
the knob, the shack comes alive, this is my job. LEDs glow, antennas high, another night beneath the sky. I'm calling out, hear that tone, across the globe I'm not alone. The net's alive and I'm checking in, let the conversation begin. We're at the Amateur Radio Roundtable, we're all plugged in, solid and stable. W5KUB's calling loud and proud, spinning stories through the static cloud. From KW5GP to WI7BG, we're rocking the bands wild and free. Hey, Glenn's got mods on a breadboard base, Brett's breaking news from a distant place, Tom's at the helm like a seasoned vet streaming.
All right, welcome to everybody. This is Amateur Radio Roundtable, and we are here tonight to talk about shortwave, ham radio, amateur radio, electronics, and maybe a few other things. I think tonight we're going to kind of focus in on, I want to focus in on some of the antennas that I have here at the QTH. Also, I've got a number of baluns and uns and things like that we're going to talk about, show you different quality in them, and just different models of them. We'll talk a little about that tonight. If you're out there listening on WBCQ International Shortwave Station on 7490, man, we'd love to hear from you. Please send us an email to Tom at w5kub.com. Let us know where in the world you are and how you're hearing the station. We'd love to hear from you. You can also join our show, our video show, if you just go to I've just noticed something here on the I noticed something here on the audio on the audio mixer. I've got to turn off. I've got two mics going right now. I got a camera and the mic is on. Let me stop that real quick, guys. Let me see if I can figure out how to stop that.
Oh, I thought you were hearing 30 hertz hum.
No. I've got to turn off. Oh, I know what I know how to do it. I know how to do it. I don't know if I sound any different now or not.
Nah.
Okay. Well, both microphones are right next to each other here. Hey, join us on our Facebook group. We got a great Facebook group. We're almost at 15,000 people now. Just go to Facebook and do a search for W5KUB, and you'll find us, and we'll approve you. It's a great ham radio site. We talk about things about the show. We just talk about everything from ham radio and shortwave, and just, join us there. So if you're on YouTube tonight, please hit the subscribe button, and hey, hit the like button and hit the notify button. It doesn't cost you anything to hit those buttons, so please subscribe. We're streaming on x.com, we're streaming on facebook.com, and we're also streaming on YouTube. So we're at a bunch of places here tonight. I thought we were going to be on Twitch TV tonight, but obviously I didn't have something set up right, so we're not on Twitch tonight. So let's see, we're on about every podcast carrier out there, from iHeartRadio to iNet Radio, Google Play. All the ones that are out there are carrying us. So you can find us just about anywhere. People every day ask me to be friends on Facebook, and guys, my Facebook group, I barely use it, and it's for family mostly. We've got 15,000 people in the W5KUB group. That's where I hang out most of the time. So if you want to find me, you can message me there, or find me in the W5KUB. I just don't want 15,000 people in my personal Facebook group. But anyway, I'll be your friend right there on W5KUB. Trying to think, man. We got Thanksgiving coming up next week. Getting close to Christmas. I'm thinking about all the new radios I'm going to get. Gonna be exciting times here. All right, well, let's jump around the room here real quick and talk to our other co-host here, and We'll pick up Glenn first. Hey, Glenn, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Spent the whole day and actually most of the week rebuilding a handful of rotators and dealing with that. Uh, but yeah, let's see. I rebuilt an AR-22, an AR-210XL, an AR-40, and two Ham 2s.
Oh
And
man.
going to be selling most of those, keeping a couple for myself
Well, when
because
you
we're
when you
about
opened
ready
one of
to.
those up, did the 100 ball bearings fall out?
Um, yeah.
Well,
Actually, if you open them right,
yeah.
because the grease is so old and sticky, they
Oh yeah.
generally don't fall out.
Yeah, I've re-greased mine
But
a few times. In fact, I don't even have that rotor anymore. I got that Yaesu azimuth elevation rotor.
mhm.
But yeah, I've played those ball bearings before. I think it's something I don't remember.
Yeah,
Something like 50 on the bottom of the ring and 50 on the top of the ring,
50 on the bottom, 50 on the
and
top. Yes,
the grease does keep them in there. Just don't knock it over. When you got it open.
right. And the best thing is don't use the grease you're familiar with. Use the white lithium grease.
Yeah, yeah.
That is a waterproof, weatherproof grease that
Oh
is
yeah.
much better than the old grease that you would use on those bearings. It stays, you know,
It
usable
stays. It
longer. It doesn't
stays.
doesn't dry and get sticky
Right.
like the other greases.
Right. Right. Yeah.
So, yep, did that. Got them all cleaned up. Cleaned the pots on the ones that had pots, and there you go, pliable. Thanks, Clifton. But yeah, and just put the last one together. Got them all cleaned up, and surprisingly, the one I picked up at the Mina Hamfest a few weeks ago, I was told it was somebody's spare. They never used it. Excuse me, it's been a long day. And I open it up and I'm like, thank God that person did not ever try to put it in service. It had like 10 ball bearings on each side of the plate instead of the 50.
Yeah. I think he
But
could. I think he could work with a few less than it has, but
yeah, but not
yeah.
10. That's, and it was noisy. What's funny is when I placed all the ball bearings and cleaned it all up, that thing is quiet, very
That's good.
nicely quiet.
Good.
So yeah. So got all those rotators done. Now it's back up into the attic and gonna grab something else. I think I'm gonna work on a Heath RF generator or signal generator here in a couple weeks.
Are you going to homebrew that maybe with an Arduino?
No,
Or
I'm just gonna recap it. I thought about doing that, and I'm
oh,
like, why
okay.
do I really want to do that to Heathkit? I thought
Yeah.
about it, and I'm like, no, it's better to fix them up, let them be what they were, and move them on to somebody else.
Right. Okay.
So I'm going to be refurbing the Heathkit gear over the winter, I hope.
All right. Well, good. Give you something to do this winter since you hadn't got your antenna tower up.
No, still working on that, but it's either been too hot or too cold to be outside. For example, today it was 82 and muggy
Yeah.
and supposed to rain, and I'm like, I'm just not going outside right now.
Yeah. Well, I think we're gonna get some rain for 3 or 4 days here. Probably
Yeah,
starting tomorrow, or the next day. I don't know.
starting tomorrow. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm about, I get the weather probably about 5, 6 hours ahead of you.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, very good.
So,
Let's jump down here with Brett. Hey, before Brett says anything, I got to ask him something, man. He's out there in Wyoming. There are not many people out there. I was watching a deal on YouTube yesterday about Wyoming. Did you know in Wyoming, the entire state of Wyoming, there are only 2 pair of escalators in the entire state? Did you know that, Brett?
I have ridden them.
Yeah,
I know
you've
where
ridden
they
every
are.
escalator. You've ridden every escalator in Wyoming, then.
Yes, I have. Probably the nicest one is in Casper, Wyoming, in an old bank building, which is no longer a bank building. And yeah, I was there not too long ago.
Wow. All right. All right. We all need to get some more escalators. Man, hey, put one in your house, and you'll go on record as Wyoming has 3 escalators.
There you go.
Yeah. What have you been up to, man?
Well, let's see. What have I been up to? Ham radio wise, I've been doing doing some interesting things. Here we go. Let's toggle sharing so I can show you. The ISS has been transmitting SSTV pictures.
That's
And
cool.
so I've been receiving those and experimenting with different antennas and seeing how little QRM I can get, and how little fuzz I can get on the various pictures, and that's been a lot of fun. The receivers really vary a lot. It's amazingly, a little HT with a good antenna is better than a fancy mobile rig or a base station rig with an antenna that isn't anywhere near as good. And directionality matters a lot. A tape measure Yagi works a lot better than an Omni, and I'm having good luck with that. And just in general, like I said, I'm learning what it takes to really receive signals well from the ISS. And of course, this is one-way communication. I'm not communicating. I'm not talking to anyone the way you have, but it's still been a lot of fun to do it.
Yeah, I haven't.
The ISS.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead, Glenn.
Yeah, didn't the ISS have to shut down their slow scan a couple days ago?
I got this before they did. I don't know if they've. I don't know whether they're operating right now. I did hear that there was some problems with it, and it hasn't been continuous as they'd hoped. It didn't start.
Yeah,
it didn't start when they said it was. It didn't start when they said it was going to start.
Yeah, well, James backs me up here in the chat room.
Yeah.
They did shut it down because they have equipment issues, so probably not going to get any more slow scan until they get that figured out.
Well,
I think it was a transmitter issue.
Yeah, maybe the antenna went bad. All they got to do is drill a hole through the wall, run a coax out that hole, and do a little spacewalk and mount another lamp.
Yeah.
Just put a magnetic
Just
mount
go
out there.
outside, adjust the antenna. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, they don't have to worry about wind. Well, maybe solar wind.
Yeah, I guess. No, you were saying I worked a lot. I haven't worked it I haven't worked it probably several years, maybe even longer than that. I worked my friend astronaut Wheelock, I think 28 or 30 times 1 month when he was the commander up there. And worked him 3 times from the truck coming home from work, which was pretty cool. But I haven't worked him since then. And it's a neat thing to do, to be able to work the International Space Station when it goes over. Now, how long does it take for that slow scan picture to come in? Is that like a minute or so?
It's between a minute and 2 minutes for each picture. There's a little bit of a gap in between. Sometimes you can get more than one picture in one pass if you're lucky.
Yeah, I'm thinking, a lot of the passes for the satellites or the space station might only be 7 minutes, 8 minutes. You might find some 11-minute ones, maybe some even less, but say 7 or 8 minutes. So I guess, are they doing a constant transmission, just one after the other? So
well, there's a gap in between. I think they're letting their transmitter rest in between them, because I've never gotten more than 2 per pass, no matter even when the pass was just about overhead.
Yeah, well, that may be the problem they had if they were doing too much slow scan up here. The astronauts are how do I say it? Pretty much beginners when it comes to operating that equipment. I know I've talked to them up there, and they had the thing on reverse, and I figured out they were in reverse, and I switched, and I was able to talk to them, and they just get a lot of them just get their license right when they go up, and they've never operated before.
Ah, well,
And like when
they,
Doug was up there, he'd make a CQ, and he'd hear 1,000 people call him, and he said it would sound like alphabet soup, and he didn't know what to do, you know. So he called his support people down on Earth and said, "Man, what do I do? All I'm hearing is alphabet soup." And they told him, listen for certain letters or listen for a word or something like that. And Doug got pretty good with it. They catch on pretty quick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, when they're not on, you can always work the repeater and see who you can get back here on Earth. And I know a lot of people who are doing that in this area.
Well, and maybe they're better now in putting the repeater on. I know years ago when I was working it, many times for a week at a time or longer, the repeater would be turned off. And people were complaining, why don't they turn the repeater on? Why don't they turn the repeater on so we can talk to it? Well, that's kind of secondary hobby for them up there, and, they've got other jobs to do. So it sounds like to me that they've learned to leave the repeater on when they're not, doing slow scan or something like that.
Mm-hmm. That may be.
Yeah. All right.
But
What
in any
else?
case, that's the most interesting thing I've done this week, other than a little bit of wiring and soldering and things like that. I've been doing something that's completely, that's electricity more than electronics. I've been doing some electrical wiring, and that's taken up a lot of my time, making sure that that's all done right and safely and according to the latest little technicalities in the electrical code.
All right. Well, that's good. All right. Well, tonight I thought we would just talk a little about antennas and baluns. I got a bunch of baluns here to show you. Some great looking ones, some not so great. Maybe give you a little update on what I'm doing for antennas here at the QTH. I've kind of cleaned mine up. If you remember, I took a lot of my antennas down because I was having tree work done back there. And they were going to remove a couple trees and remove a lot of dead limbs for me up there. But their lift broke, and it's out of state being repaired, so I haven't heard from them in like a month or longer. So I finally put some antennas back up. I wish I had their bucket. I mean, they're getting a new one, but the bucket they've got, it goes up 90 feet, which is that's really up there, man. And you need it for my trees, but I think he said you're buying a new bucket that went up maybe 120, 130 feet. I mean, that's getting on up there.
Man, that's high.
That's a nice one.
Yeah. We measured my trees in the back there. I got some trees back there over 130 feet tall. They're pretty good sized trees. Oh man. And guess what, man? Leaves, my backyard, the leaves are about 6 inches deep, solid on my backyard back there. So I gotta start getting leaves up. But anyway, let's talk a little about, I don't know where to start. Let's talk about antennas. Guys, I've been working on some different antenna projects for a while. If you remember the 7-band LC network, I never really finished it and put it in a case. So I'm concerned more about humidity, moisture, things like that, which I could try, but that's one problem. And I had a couple bands I was having trouble on. And so I just kind of set that to the side. And I worked on this coaxial vertical for a while. Having trouble with it, but I've learned some things. And, it's interesting that I've really never worked on this problem in all the many years I've been a ham. But, when I was working on the 7-band LC tuning network out there, I had things connected to my ground system. And I not only have at the antenna farm, I not only have ground rods in the ground, I've got buried radios, a number of buried radios, anywhere from 130 feet long to probably 12 feet long, just a whole bunch of different size ones down there. And I found that the ground connection greatly affected the tuning. You think, sure, it should. And I ended up having better results just from putting on top of the ground just 3 or 4 radios about 10 feet long, just laid them on the ground. And they sufficed, and they worked pretty good. But I was just thinking, if you got this antenna system all set up and everything, if you go out here and you change one thing on the ground, let's say you just lay one more ground radio out there, that changes your ground system, and it changes everything.
Mm-hmm.
And you'd really need to retune it probably, and you may or may not even get it to work. So that's one of the things that kind of hit home, and I started thinking more about it. Another thing that I had some experience with, and I've used these over the 60 years I've been a ham, the dirty balun, the dirty choke, where you take your coax and you wind about 7, 8, or 10 turns of coax on maybe a 5-inch diameter. And
the ugly balun.
Yeah, the ugly balun. And I found that that's not a great balun, and it also is sensitive to different frequencies. I had terrible SWRs, and I could take one turn off that ugly balun, and things would come into play, and things would look better. I also, in my studying, I also found that the dirty balun is not real wide banded, not broad banded. So, if it works well on 80, it may not work on 40 or 20. You might have to change the number of turns or whatever in it. What do you think here?
What I've discovered about the ugly balun is that if it gets near metal, everything changes.
When it gets what?
When it gets near anything that's metallic, everything changes.
Yeah. So I scrapped the idea on it, and I put up a 17 meter, 17 and 12 meter fan dipole. I never had a resonant antenna for 17 and 12, but I just used a center insulator, no balun on it at all, and SWR, and everything looks just great on it. So I'm not worried about it. I'm gonna talk a little about the antennas I have up. I had too many out there, and they were starting to show in the backyard. You look out the kitchen window, and I had wires and strings and ropes everywhere, man. It was looking bad. And the wife didn't say anything about it, but I know she likes a nice, clean view out the kitchen window. So anyway, when I took some antennas down, I just retired them. I took down a 80-40-20 fan dipole that I never used. I hadn't been on 80 or 75 meters probably in 15 or 20 years, but I took it down because I have other antennas that will work there. And let me show you. I've got some drawings here. Let me show you just some of the antennas. We'll talk about them real quick. What I've got out there, and why, and how they work, and why I've got them. So let's see if I can do this. Let's see. Okay. All right. So the first antenna is that extended ZEP. Now the extended ZEP, Martin Jew has one, and he told me that. He said that's the best antenna. That's the only wire antenna that's supposed to have gain to it. So I said, okay, I'm gonna put me an extended ZEP up. But the extended ZEP is 172 feet long for 40 meters. It's 5/8 wave. It's 5/8 wave on both sides. 5/8 wave. That's more than a half. So you can see the picture there, kind of my extended double ZEP here, 172 feet long. my lot is only a little over 130 feet wide, so it didn't quite fit. So you can see there, I dropped each end about maybe 20 foot on each end. I fed that with 450 ohm. Is it ladder line or open line or window line? What do you call that?
It's called ladder line.
Ladder line.
Ladder line. Okay, that's the
Yeah.
ladder line. What's the 6-inch spacing called? Ladder
It's
line?
just it's still just called ladder line.
Yeah.
By
Yeah.
the way, I just did a quick calculation.
Yeah.
If you took if diagonally across your lot and it was square, you'd have 183 feet to hang the antenna. So,
Yeah, well, my lot is actually about 330 feet deep. Now, I do have some power lines at the very back, but I wanted it running north and south. So north and south, I've got 132 feet or something like that.
Oh,
So anyway, I don't think that affects it a whole lot to have the 20-foot drop on each side. Again, it's up about 80 feet. It's really up in the air, really good. And I've got, I call it ladder line. I've got 80 feet of ladder line, comes down to a 4-to-1 balun, and that goes into a 1.5 kilowatt MFJ auto tuner at the base. And then right there at the where the antenna tuner is, that's where my antenna farm all comes together. And I've got ground rods there. I've got buried radios, and I've also got a grounding apparatus across there with the where the PL259 screw into it. So I've got a ground right there at the base of the all the antenna feeds right there. And then I come into the shack through about 130 feet of LMR 400. And the only reason I'm using LMR 400 is at work, I had a project where I had a satellite system put in, and we had about 500 feet of LMR 400 left over, so I just used that. So I got four runs of LMR 400 going out there. And then as it comes to the shack here at the station, I put a hole through the wall right behind I put a hole through the brick right behind the operating position, and brought the conduit up out of the ground, conduit up, and an LB there, and it goes straight through the wall. And it's also grounded right there. So that's one antenna I use. That antenna will tune anywhere. I can do 160 through anything. I mean, I could do 12 meters or 17 meters with it. But that's the only one I've got out there with a tuner on it now. And the thing is, I like resonant antennas because I like running my alpha amp here. My alpha amp will not work if the SWR is over 2-to-1. If it hits 2, my amp will go off. So I need resonant antennas. Or in this case, I've got an expensive 1.5 kilowatt tuner out there, and those things are expensive. So I don't put one on every antenna. So that's my that antenna will work any band. So I'm happy with that. Next, I took down the 80-40-20. And I built me just a simple 12 and 17 meter fan dipole, and that's the second one here you can see. And it actually came together pretty good. I've got it up probably about 60 feet in the air. It comes down again to the grounding block there on the antenna farm, grounded there. 130 feet underground, again to the station, grounded at the shack. So I was comparing that antenna with other antennas I have. And I haven't made any contacts on it yet, but it looks really good. Now, probably the one I'm more proud of, or I think works the best, is the full wave 40-meter loop. And I've got that out there, and it's a full wavelength on 40 meters. And the SWR is just perfect. Well, when I say perfect, it's anywhere from like 1.5 down to 1.2 on every band. I'm talking 40, 20, 15, and 10. I've got it standing vertically. Some people run the loop horizontally, but I like to run this one vertically. The bottom of that loop is probably about 8 feet off the ground. Again, it comes down to my connection point out there. It's grounded there, 130 feet underground to the shack, grounded at the entry to the shack. So that antenna does not require. What was that?
Do you have a balun at the feed point to match it?
No, I do. Yeah, I'm sorry, I should have drawn that in here. I've got a 4-to-1 there. That's what all the write-ups show is a 4-to-1. Now I'm gonna tell you something. A loop is supposed to have an impedance of about 100 ohms. So 100 ohms. So I got a 4-to-1 out there, and the SWR, it's just perfect. It works great. But look at this. So I ordered from my friend Bob Rumsey a 2-to-1. So I ordered a 2-to-1 because a loop is supposed to be 100 ohms. So wouldn't a 2-to-1 balun be better than a 4-to-1? Well, the answer to that is no. I put the 4-to-1 back on because it worked so much better, and the SWR was almost, just a great match. So that's one thing that didn't make a lot of sense, So obviously that antenna must not be 100 ohms. Must be closer to 200 ohms. All right, so I've got a full wave loop that can handle legal power on any of the bands. No tuning needed there. And then I built that coaxial vertical, guys. It's the T2, what T2L2 is it might be referred to. I built it. I took the shield off on the outside that I was experimenting with, and instead of trimming the shield off the top half, I just soldered a wire on there so I wouldn't waste 17 feet of coax. So just a wire on the top, and then an isolator. I guess that's a I don't know. The isolator is put at the bottom of the quarter wave of the shield, and that gives you a half wave vertical there. I had a isolator that came off a I don't know what brand. It was one of the off-center fed antennas where they came down X number of feet with coax and put an isolator there. And in reading and also checking it on a spectrum analyzer, I found out it was just a choke. So I put that choke on there at the base to make that a quarter wave on the bottom half there, and it looked amazing. I trimmed the top element there a little bit, to get the SWR down, and I put that on 20 meters. And I've got that pulled up in the air, maybe about the top of it is probably about at 50 feet, I'm guessing. Again, coax down, grounded there at the antenna feed point there, grounded underground to the shack, grounded again. So that's and I wanted to try that because now I've got a vertical on 20. Everything else I've got there is horizontal on that I could use on 20. The ZEP antenna or the loop would be horizontal. So this would be vertical polarization. And I'm thinking, okay, this will probably give me a lot lower takeoff angle, maybe for some DX. So I thought, hey, I'll try this. So that's all the antennas I got up right now. I took down an off-center fed that I had on my remote base. I took down, let's see, I took down the 80-40-20, cleaned that up, and I think I had a 5/8 40-meter vertical out that I just never really used. I took that down. So anyway, that's the antennas that I'm using right now, and I haven't been looking at the chat rooms. Anybody made any comments at all, or
No.
I guess not. I probably put everybody to sleep. But so anyway, that's
I'm
that's
still awake.
that's the antennas. That's the antennas I have here at the house now, and you don't see them. They're in the trees. You don't see them. I've got the coax coming down behind the tree, where it doesn't face the house. And there at my grounding system there at the base of the antennas. I've got one of these, these irrigation boxes, the great big irrigation box that you would bury in the ground. That's sitting over that, and inside there, I've got things like antenna switcher and my 1.5 kilowatt tuner. That's in there. I have through my switching out there, I've got about 5 open ports where I could put different antennas and maybe experiment with out there. So that's kind of my antennas. And I wanted to mention one thing that I found helpful. Maybe people thought about it, maybe they don't like the idea, maybe they've used it before. But guys, here's an antenna and an insulator right there. See the antenna and the insulator? I use typically number 12 solid. Now people can say, "Oh man, that'll stretch." I've been using this for 61 years. I never had a stretch. Anyway, if you support the antenna at the center, you don't have hardly any weight on the legs, But I've never had any stretching problems. Now here's the problem I do have though. When I build an antenna like this is a pretty stiff wire to twist here. All right, SWRs 2.3. Oh man, now I got to go out there. I got to untwist this, and it doesn't untwist straight. It's all kind of kinked up. And then I got to kind of adjust this, and I got to wrap it around again, and I only have to make like 5 or 6 trips out there to get this antenna the right length. And let me say one more thing about this, but I'm not going to get into detail on this. This is insulated wire, and you see the wrapping here. The antenna's folded back and it's wrapped right here. And you think, okay, the length of this antenna is from, it's down to this end right here where it goes through the insulator. That's not exactly true. If this was bare wire and that was twisted around it, that may be the case. But even Cullum, the DX Commander, did a show on this. Even though you wrap that and tight wrap it around there, that still gives you some length for the additional length of the antenna. And you may have 3 inches wrapped there, but it may actually look like maybe 1.5 inches actually, extra. It's not a whole lot, but some of that does come in play there when you wrap it. Now, here's my problem. So I don't want to go out there 5 or 6 times and untwist this and twist it, cut it, and then twist it back and everything. So I kind of, a couple of times, I've kind of gone this route where this is the antenna, and I've got a little stinger hanging here. That stinger hangs right there, and I can easily go out there and I can trim this. Click, click, click. Take a half inch off, take 1 inch off, take 2 inches off. And whatever you got left, let's say we've got 3 inches left right here. Just leave it there. It's part of the antenna. It doesn't have to. It doesn't have to be sticking straight out. Let it hang right there, and it keeps you from having to untwist this and twist it every time. So that's one of the things that QST used to have a thing called kinks and what did they have, Glenn? Kinks and
It was hints and
hints
kinks.
and kinks.
Or yeah,
Hints and kinks, wasn't it?
or was it tips and kinks? I think it was hints and kinks.
I don't know. They changed it. I was reading about it today. They did change it, I think, from hints and kinks to tips and kinks. It has changed. Now, I don't know if they're still doing that or not. I don't know. I
Yeah, they are.
Oh, are they?
I don't think it's under that name, but yeah.
Okay. All right. So anyway, I found that was a good way for me just to trim the antenna, to get it resonant there. So that's kind of a few things that I've been playing around with. I want to talk about baluns in a minute, and we'll get into that in just a minute. And I know Brett's got some there, and he can also help us. Hey, one thing I got to say, and Glenn probably is going to disagree with me.
Always.
I don't know if there's really anything called antenna wire. I mean, I'm old school, and I'll use any wire just about, In fact, my 80 out there, my 80 antenna I had this on there. It's been up there for about 8 years, 6 or 8 years. And what that is, let me see if I can get you a close-up there. Let's see if I can get you a close-up. There you go.
It's stranded.
It is
Looks like
stranded.
zipcord.
It's stranded as well. No, you know what this is? This is military field wire. Like they would run across the ground, telephone to telephone or whatever. And let me tell you, in each side here, watch. I'm gonna try to bend these back. Watch this. You'll be surprised. There are like 7 copper wires in there, but there are 3 steel. There's 3 steel wires in there. On each side. And typically what I do, and it's like a zip cord. You can see it's like a zip cord. But each side has 3 steel, what do you call it? Threads in there. But typically what I do on just on each end, I'll just twist them together on each end. And I think this stuff is strong enough you could actually hook it and pull a car with it. I mean, it ain't gonna break. You can't break it. It's got steel in it. So, yeah, and it will solder.
Yep.
It will solder because a number of those are copper. They're copper, and even the steel ones will solder. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, John brought it up. I looked in my QST. It's now called the Hints and Hacks.
Yeah, hints and hacks now. They changed the name to that. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep. Well, I use steel wire for my antennas too. I use this. I use this this stuff which is copper coated steel.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is called tracer wire. They use that because you can send a signal down it and then and then find where it is underground. So they run it alongside the fiber cables and pipelines, and that way you can detect the signal with a metal detector or with pretty much any receiver and find where the wire goes. Now that's just designed to carry RF because after all you have the skin effect, and so your RF is in the outside on the outside of the wire in the copper. Mm-hmm. But the steel makes it extremely strong, and so that's my favorite kind of antenna wire. It really lasts forever, and the RF characteristics just seem to be really good. If I want to do something really light, I will use electric dog fence wire, which you can buy in big spools at Lowe's and Home Depot. I've got some of that here in a little antenna that I use for POTA and for travel, and you've got a big sheaf of it right here,
Wow.
and it's light, it's convenient. It won't handle a kilowatt. It'll handle about 100 watts, and no more than that. But it's perfect if you're not running that much power and you just need something light and portable that you want to take somewhere.
Yeah.
And
What do
I
you
can string
think
that up in a
about?
tree in a few
Yeah.
minutes.
What do you think about this electric fence wire? Is it aluminum or is it? It may be aluminum. I don't know.
If you're talking about the bare electric fence wire that's meant
Yeah.
to fence out animals, I've never used that. I will, the again, the dog fence wire is different because it's a virtual fence.
Right.
Um,
Right.
I would worry about corrosion on the electric fence wire, so I'm not
Yeah.
sure. I'm not so sure I would want to use it.
Well, it's really cheap. You buy a mile roll for almost nothing.
Hmm.
Yeah. Oh, let's
Yeah, that was
see.
one thing. I've got my cobweb that I'm going to be rewiring, and it seems like about every 4 years that wire, what it came with, and then what I replaced it with, just corrodes into uselessness after about 4 years.
Hmm. Okay.
Yep.
All
So
right.
I've
Hey,
got some of that tracer wire to try.
hey guys, let's do this. Let's take a 1 minute break. We'll be right back, and then we're gonna get into balance. Man, I got a lot of balance here. I wanted to show you and talk about. ICOM's IC7760 is a pinnacle of base station excellence for amateur radio enthusiasts. Designed to deliver unmatched performance, the IC7760 features state-of-the-art technology, exceptional RF clarity, and an intuitive interface, all housed in a sleek and durable design. This base station features a separate remote control head and RF deck, providing enhanced flexibility for installation. Place the RF deck closer to the antenna feed point, freeing up space on your desk. You can also connect the control head to the RF deck through your home network, enabling remote operation from anywhere in your home without needing a PC. Pair the IC7760 with a powerful IC-PW2 linear amplifier and take your contesting experience to the next level with ICOM's industry-first linear amplifier. Together, they redefine what's possible in amateur radio. For more information about ICOM's amateur radios, please visit icomamerica.com/amateur. All right, we are back, and I want to talk about some balance. Oh man, I got a bunch of them laying out here. Man, there's all types of different quality. There are different ones, maybe, and I'm sure Brett can tell us the differences. I get confused on a voltage balun and a current balun. I read tonight where a voltage balun keeps the voltage the same across the antenna, and a current balun keeps the current the same across the entire antenna. But that don't make a lot of sense to me. But anyway, we'll get into that in a little while. You got cheapies, you got more expensive ones. I have no specific order here, but let's just start showing some. We'll just show some. Oh, here's a terrible looking one here. Terrible. Terrible. Let me go a little bit larger screen here. Let me go. Well, that'll probably work. Look at this, guys. Look at this. Look at that.
It's a monster.
Look at that. Now, you might ask what the screen's for. Right there, this little screen. But that screen has an important role, and that is to keep the squirrels from eating it up, man. This thing was up a long time, and the squirrels they pretty much try to get into it. Oh man. All right, so here's one here that hadn't got too damaged. It's very similar in size. That's you hang it center conductor. You can hang it with a rope here. That takes the weight off your dipole, and Your antenna just hooks to the two screws there. SO239 at the bottom. Now I would assume, and I'm pretty certain, these are air wound baluns. They're probably not quite as good as the newer Toro type. Let me show you what's in these. If you never looked in one of these. So here's the insides of a 4-to-1. That's the inside to a 4-to-1 balun. And you can see it's wound on PVC pipe. Pretty cheap. It's wound using a magnet wire. The enameled wire. And I don't know. I'm not sure how much power. That was probably rated a kilowatt, but I think it's probably pushing it right there. The insulation is not very much on these magnet wires. Okay, so that's a 4-to-1. And here's
this is also a 4-to-1, by the way. This is a cheap Chinese 4-to-1. You can see the call sign on there is BH4DDF.
Oh, cool.
And but it works very well. 4-to-1 you'll use for an off-center fed dipole with like a 2-to-1 ratio of from one side to the other, which will get you on most of the ham bands. So this plus 2-to-1, where the total length is about 33 feet, will work really, really well as a simple all-band antenna.
Yeah. Here's a 1-to-1. Again, built same way basically. It's built again PVC pipe. Looks like 3/2 inch or 3/4 inch PVC pipe. And let's see, I got the wrong one. This is it right here. Now, if you look at this one close, let me see if I can show you. Let's see if I can show you the problem with this one. It went bad. May not focus. Do you see the problem? I don't know if you can see the problem.
You got a little bit of charred enamel there in the middle.
Yeah, if you look in here, it looks like the insulation has broke down. So I think that's what happened to this one. It just couldn't handle it. Just couldn't handle it. All right, so those are air core. It wouldn't be very broadbanded either. An air core inductor like it is not very broadbanded, so I can't see how the thing would work very well on all the HF bands. All right, look at here. Here's what I built years ago. I'm sure it's air core, but this is a 6-to-1. I had a project for some reason. I was needing to try a 6-to-1, so I built me a 6-to-1 balun here, and I used it for a while on something. I don't remember what it was. All right.
Yep. Here's another 6-to-1, by the way.
Yeah.
This is a 2 kilowatt 6-to-1, and this one has a real core has a real toroid inside it and a big core.
Yeah.
It's a current balun. If you have a rhombic antenna or something else that's just an open line, then you need that.
Okay. All right. And I know you've got one of these there at your QTH, but these are some LDG baluns right here. A 4-to-1 and a 1-to-1. Well, one is a un and one's a balun. So this says 200 watts. I've never used these, but it says 200 watts. That's 200 watts PEP. So I guess that's probably a sideband reference there. So you're probably never hitting over about probably 70 watts or so, But this thing probably wouldn't last long. Let me show you what's inside here. there's what's in it. It's a very small toroid, and I'm not so sure how waterproof these cases would be. Here's the 4-to-1 right here. Again, it's rated at 200 watts, they say.
Now, it says un, but it doesn't have a coaxial output. Now, I mean, balun means you're going from balanced line to an unbalanced line. So you have an antenna at one end, and then you have coax, which is unbalanced on the other side. But
Yeah,
this
I think the
rectified by.
reason, I think the reason, of course, your coax is unbalanced on this end here. And up here, if you notice, they've got a ground mark here, a ground and an antenna. So I guess you'd ground that lead there, and you'd hook you a long wire or some kind of wire here. I don't know. That's interesting. Yeah, interesting. Again, here's the inside. You can see it. I don't know how well these would work outside. They might be okay.
Now,
And I'm sure they'd be okay for a lower power. I would suggest not run. I would suggest not running more than 100 watts of those, probably less. All right, so let's see what else we got here. I'll tell you, I think the best antenna the best balun manufacturer out there is a friend of ours. He always donated prizes. He always donated some of these for our webcast. Balun Designs. You will not find a better built balun than Bob Rumsey makes. This is that 2-to-1 I was mentioning before, rated at 3,000 watts. And, nice box. Got the rubber weather seal in here. Let's take a look inside it. Let's take a look inside it. Again, this is got dual toroids in there.
Switch your camera, Tom.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Thank you. Again, Balun Designs. It's Bob Rumsey. Rumsey. Bob Rumsey. Rumsey. Let me get that right. He's down in Texas. BalunDesigns.com. I suggest if you want a good balun that will last you about forever, order from him. And this is rated at 3,000 watts. And if you ask Bob, says Bob, what happens if I put 1,000 watts in that thing that goes bad? He says, I'll send you another one. That's how good he is, and how much faith he has in these. Let's look inside there. I mean, I tell you, beautiful construction, man. Beautiful construction. I mean, if I'd build one, the wires probably wouldn't be spaced that beautiful. They'd probably have weird spacing between some of those. But anyway, that's my writing down in here, the 2-to-1. I try to put that inside in case the label comes off, where I'll know what these are. But again, these are cool. You just you can order them any different configurations. You can order it with a hanging hook at the top, and then of course this is where you hook your antenna legs to the sides right there, and then it coax at the bottom. Beautiful build, and I don't think, and he's got a contract even with the military. He sells a lot of baluns to the military, and they use them. That was a 2-to-1 that I bought for my 100 ohm loop, which it didn't like it. So let's look at a couple more of his. Now here's one I just took down. I took this down. You can see it's kind of dirty. This one's been up over 6 years out there. in a tree. And this is a choke balun rated at 5,000 watts, dual core. And let's look inside it and see what he got inside it. Now it looks a little dirty in here. I had some ants that I think went up through the little holes here, and I had to clean it out, but they didn't affect it. So it's a dual core again, dual core. But look, they're using that. This is that military spec coax. This is something like RG 316 or something. I don't know the number on exactly, but this is got Teflon. This wire is very high voltage rated and high current rated, high temperature rated, and I think this has got a double shield on it. It's silver plated. The shield is silver plated, and even the center conductor is. And this is a 1-to-1. Again, it's dual core. All right. Here is from Bob. Here is now I never thought about this, but I was talking to Bob. I said, Bob, I want to try a 64-to-1, on a half-wave antenna. And I was looking at all his products, and he had one at the same price. It was a 64-to-1 and a 49-to-1, same price for this. So I said, well, give me the 64-1, 49-1. Because that way it gives me the option to use either matching 64 or 49, which is pretty good right here. And let's look inside. And again, you can see very beautiful construction. All his solder joints look just beautiful, and I mean, you can't beat it, man. That's a dual core, and it's rated. This one's rated at 1 kilowatt. And again, you can it has the hanging. You can order a different configuration, but there's the hanging. You got a ground here or counterpoise you can put on here. This side here is 64-to-1. This side is 49-to-1. But even with this, I found, and I was hoping to use a half-wave infed without a tuner. But Bob said even with this, you're going to probably need a tuner. This will bring it down. This will bring it down to where the tuner in your radio will tune it, and it'll work fine. But I don't have a tuner in my amplifier, and just didn't want to spend another $1,000 for a tuner to tune this. So that's why I like resonant antennas. Go ahead, Brett.
Well, I just wanted to show this one, which was sort of intermediate. This is a 9-to-1 balun, and this one is made by Nelson Antennas, who is an eBay seller. And I use this with a sort of a compromise antenna here. It's got 84 feet of wire on on the hot side, and then it has a counterpoise which is 17 feet long. Neither of those is resonant on any ham band, but together they are kind of they don't have very bad SWR on any ham band. And so with the 9-to-1 balun, I find I'm always able to tune using the tuner in the radio. So sometimes you don't use the balun to get an exact match, but just to get it close enough, and that's the case by using the 9-to-1 balun here.
All right. Now that wire there, it looks like it could get tangled up pretty good.
It's spooled up so hopefully it would just unspool without any tangles.
Oh,
At least
man.
I hope so.
Well, that's cool. All right.
It's just a little the edges are a little bit wild because it's springy.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So I built several different baluns, trying to copy what Bob does there. Here's one I built a while back. This is a 64-to-1. This is a 49-to-1. Basically, I use the same box he used. You can buy these at Lowe's and places like this. The box isn't real cheap, to tell you the truth, but you need to get the one that doesn't have the holes or the knockouts in it, and then that way you can put your own holes in here. But here's my hanging. Hang it right here, and here is where the antenna, the half wave connects here and goes out, and it connects to the net here. And then down at the bottom, coax, and I can put a counterpoise here, or maybe a ground here. Let's see what the inside looks like. This is a Tom built. It isn't going to look as good as Bob's, I can tell you that now. But there's a little 49-to-1 that I built. And I use dual cores again. You almost need a dual core. If you're going to run high power, you're going to have, if you run one core, it's going to saturate, and your SWR is going to go crazy. So even with two cores, it's probably going to get warm. The capacitor they put down here is to help it. I think they help it on 80 meters. Somehow it helps compensate the 80 meter band better, where it will it functions better with this 100 picofarad in here. So that's my 49-to-1 right there. Again, these are nice boxes right here.
Is that a Carlon box?
I don't know, but it looks identical to.
No brand name on the back.
It looks identical to his box. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's got a. Oh, there it is.
Yep.
Carlon. Okay. Carlon box. All right. Now I got one
those
more.
have an O-ring. They're waterproof.
Yeah, I got one more balun to show you. And you know what? I might use this. I've got a project coming up, and I may use it. Guys, on my Pico balloons, if I run dual band, I've got to have a dual band antenna. And we've been typically running, when we run dual band, we've been running 20 meters and 10 meters. So I have two choices in my Pico balloon flights, and that is I can put little traps, a little coil and a capacitor traps in a dipole and make it 10 and 20. Last time I flew a half wave, and we took a little toroid and we built a 49-to-1. And I'm thinking, okay, I might try a off center fed this time. And looky here, look at this. You guys probably know what that is, don't you?
You got to show it to us.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody knows what that is.
Yes.
And let me show you something.
That is an unan for, or actually, it's a balun for TV.
And look at
It's a 4-to-1.
look at the match. 75 ohms on one side, 300 on the other. That's a 4-to-1. That's a 4-to-1. That's what I need for an off-center fed. Let me open it up here. Looky there. There it is.
Oh, that would lend itself to a balloon.
Yeah. I've got me a 4-to-1 balun right there. I think I'll fly this next time. I'll take it out of the case. I can't take the weight of the case, but I can sure use the 4-to-1 balun right there. Isn't that neat?
Yeah. You might want to test the frequency response, because that the right material is sure to be for VHF.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well,
I probably got a couple in my attic if you want them, Tom.
Actually, yeah. I'm thinking, of course, 10 meters is 28 megahertz, and this would go down to at least 50, probably around 50 megahertz, for channel 2. Anyway, I'll try it. What I'll do is I usually stretch an antenna out and put the antenna analyzer on it with this on there and see how it works. So that's Glenn, you say you got some of these?
I probably have a few. Yeah, I'll
I
dig
probably
dig
have
through.
several laying around somewhere. But if you, hey, don't throw them away. If you,
Yeah,
you know,
as I'm cleaning out, as I
if
run
you're
across
cleaning
them, I'll
out or
throw them in
whatever,
a bin for
just
you.
throw them in a box there and see because I might be able to use them there.
Yeah,
Uh,
will do. I know I've got at least one.
yeah. So I don't know how many
Mark's wanting to
grams I
know.
think it
Yeah,
is. Yeah, Mark is asking how many grams. I don't know. It's not going to be many. It may be, man, it may be less than 1 gram.
it'd be nice.
Yeah, maybe less than one. I don't think it's going to be more than that. All right. Let's see. All right, in the chat room, WECB 640 says he's used those before and they'll handle 10 watts. WECB 640. Is that a call letter? Is that a call letter for a radio station?
Yeah,
WECB
yeah,
frequency
probably an
640.
AM station.
Hey, Brett, do a search on WECB and see if that's a radio station.
Okay.
WECB.
Well, 640
Oh, wait a
would be
minute.
in the
Wait a
AM
minute.
band.
That what?
Student-run radio station at Emerson College.
Cool.
Yeah,
School
he's
station right there in
W1ECV.
Emerson. Right there, cool station in Emerson. Very good. Cool. All right. He's up in where is
Yep, if you
Emerson?
go to wecb.fm, you can find out information about it.
Yeah. Now where's Emerson? Where that's up? Is that up in the northeast somewhere?
Well, let's see. It's in
I,
Boston. Is in the Boston area, I believe.
I would
Okay.
say with a W1 call, you'd think it'd be up that way.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
hey, then he's up there close to our transmitter, WBCQ. We're up in Maine. He's in Mass.
Yeah.
He's in Mass. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I thought about opening the phone lines tonight, but we don't have time to do that tonight, and I'm anxious to try it and get some people calling in here. Mike has to go, he said. KE8IL. Mike, 73, man. Thanks for sticking with us. Uh, Good to have you again tonight.
Yeah.
Uh, Trying to see if there's anything going on. Anybody in the chat room got anything they want to ask or say? Let's see.
Well, I've got a couple of things
Okay,
here,
let's go
small
for it.
items.
Let's go for it.
Okay. Well, let's see if I can share screens here. Here we are.
Wait a
Well,
minute.
one thing that folks should know is that now that the government shutdown is over, the FCC is back in business. And a lot of people wanted to do things like use the Universal Licensing System, the ULS, but they couldn't because it was shut down due to the government shutdown. So the FCC has extended the filing deadlines for everything that you might want to do with it, so that you're not penalized for the shutdown. Anything that was due to expire from October 21st, 2025 through March 5th, 2026 is extended until then, including if your license was about to expire. It is extended until then so that you have time to get the application for renewal in. And this includes amateur, ship-to-shore aircraft, GMRS, and commercial operator licenses. So you've got until next year to catch up. The ARRL, the VEC that coordinates license testing, well, they couldn't get you an FRN, an FCC, an FCC registration number while the FCC was shut down during the shutdown, and so now you can get your FRN and go ahead if you pass the test and get your license. And apparently there's a huge backlog. The ARRL has over 2,500 license applications that it's ready to file. So they have a lot of catching up to do, and they have instructions on the ARRL website about how to get your FRN and then how to get your license if you tested during the time when when things are shut down. So that's one thing that's going on. The other thing that's going on is various hamfests. If if you go to the ARL website, they have a handy list of hamfests coming up this weekend. They have some at the University of Miami, New Jersey. I see here various others. There's one Thanksgiving ham fest which they call the Turkey Fest in Indiana. And then there's one that I might be at if I choose to go there. I've been invited to a conference out on the West Coast, which is the W6TRW Amateur Radio Hamfest. This is actually held the last Saturday of every month at TRW in Southern California in Los Angeles area. And this is a picture of how big it is and how crowded it is. It is just a gigantic electronics flea market with all sorts of ham radio stuff and other stuff that isn't necessarily related to ham radio. And it's a lot of fun. I was there in 2019, just before COVID, and it was tremendous. I bought a bunch of stuff there because it was just really cool and just really a lot of fun.
Looks nice.
And so I may actually be there. We'll see. I'm not sure whether I will or not at this point, but it could be a lot of fun.
All right. All right. Anything else, guys? What do we got? Anything else? Let's see.
No, I really wished I had taken some video of the rotators when I had them all open and stripped out so you could see what's all going on
Yeah.
inside there.
Yeah.
I'll have to do that next time.
All
Oh
right.
yeah.
Huh. Okay. Well,
I'll do
we're
that
glad
with
to
the
have-
Heathkit signal generator.
What was that about
No.
a signal generator?
Yeah, when I open up the signal generator, because I'm going to recap it
Oh, yeah.
and tune it up,
Okay.
I'll take some video.
Okay.
One thing I'm interested in is the cabling for rotators and how you do that so that it lasts. It seems like it fails as often as the rotator itself does.
You don't have a whole lot of choice because you're dealing with up to 8 conductors. The AR-22, which is the old solenoid clicking type rotator, is 4 wires. The AR-40 is 5 wires, but it has the rotator position pod inside the bell. And then the others, the ham 2, 3, 4, etc., they're all the same basic design with that position sensor. Some have brakes, some have limit switches. So they use up to those 8 conductors. And you don't have a whole lot of choice with the 8 conductor rotator wire.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Is Cat 5 is good Cat 5 or Cat 6? Can it handle the current for the rotator, or is it too skinny?
No.
Are the wires too skinny?
You're going to need number 18 wire or better for those motors. And Cat 5 is only 24 gauge at best.
Yeah. So it won't do it.
It won't handle it, no.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you had a 5-foot run, it might.
It would handle it for a couple minutes.
Yeah.
But during a contest, if you're turning it rather often, it won't last. It's just going to be a big fuse.
Yeah.
So is your shack on the second floor?
Mine?
Brett? No, Brett.
My shack is on the second floor, and the antenna is at the other end of the building.
Oh.
And I get a little RF back, but fortunately, the way I've oriented the antennas, I don't get that much.
Here's what you do, man.
still put
Put you one of those flanges up there and just bring the mass pipe down into the shack and turn it by hand.
Well, if I did
why don't
that,
you-
yeah, I wouldn't need a rotator, but
No.
I'd drive all my computers crazy.
Yeah, why don't you just hook it to a bicycle chain and, cut a slit in the wall and
Yeah.
use a hand crank, and use a bicycle chain to turn it.
Yeah, I don't know. Right now, I don't have any rotator, but if I don't know, that of course, with a hand crank, that's called the Armstrong rotator.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yes.
I'm gonna tell you guys, I had a tower up. I had 80 feet of tower up. I had tri-benders. I had on there. I had VHF antennas. I had all kinds of stuff on it, and for many years, I took it down and never put it back up. I didn't want it back up. I'd lay in bed at night when the wind's blowing, and I'd hear clang, 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 and I thought this tower's gonna come down, man. I only, in 60 years, I only got hit by lightning, a direct hit by lightning, I think twice. And I feel like I do just as well with my wire antennas, which are pretty much invisible. I don't miss my tower and rotor to go bad and cause problems, or
Well, that's one
I just
reason
don't
why
miss
I
it at
went.
all, man. Don't miss it at all.
Well, that's one reason I went with the 33 footer. I don't
Yeah.
have to guy it, don't have to do much, and it cranks down to 11 feet. So it's all power winch driven. So,
Yeah, yeah.
just flip the switch and it goes up. And when I'm done using it, flip the switch and take it down, and it's not going to ever be a problem. But I tell you what, I am sold on I have a Mosley TA33. And
Yeah.
I dearly love that beam.
I
It's
had-
a three
I had-
element with the work bands.
I had the Mosley Classic 33.
Hmm.
And
And I dearly love their antennas.
Yeah, I actually gave that away to a guy down in Mississippi. I gave my tower away to a guy up in Bartlett. I gave
And
my
then I've
cobweb.
got,
We built a cobweb and I gave the cobweb to somebody I don't even know. He was a ham that came through the area here.
Now my 6 meter beam is the MFJ, and I love that one. It's a 3 element 6 meter beam. Really love it.
I've got in my workshop out there. I've got a 6 meter. What do you call it? Cactus J-pole. Built out of copper
Yeah.
pipe. That sucker's pretty long. That thing must be 12 or 14 feet long.
Hmm.
And anyway,
We
I've
had-
got some low loss coax, and I'm gonna put it back up out here. I've got a limb right outside the shack here, over a tree limb about 70 something feet up there, and I'm just gonna tie that rope on that and pull it up there in a tree about 70 feet, and hopefully 6 meters opens up.
We've got a 6 meter FM repeater here in town. They just put back on the air.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a 6 meter mag loop that I've used occasionally, which is it's stamped out of sheet metal, and the capacitor in the loop, because you always have to have a capacitor to tune it, is just these two plates that are attached to the loop at the top. You have thumb screws, and you use them to tune it. And I didn't want to have to retune it, so I worked FT8, which you can keep on the same frequency, and did that for field day. It worked really well, actually.
Hmm.
Somebody built a 6 meter J-pole back at the Olive Branch Club years ago, and for the Dirty Santa at Christmas, that was the most fought over item in the whole Christmas. Everybody wanted that thing.
Well, I made an offer
So
here just but maybe a month ago, to some local hams that if you know anybody who wants this 6 meter J-pole, tell them come get it. But I've decided I think I'm gonna put it back up.
How
Well, if you
tall
wanna
is a
get rid of
6 meter
it-
J-pole?
It's pretty
About 12
tall,
feet.
man. It's pretty tall. Yeah.
Well, if you decide to get rid of it, Tom, let me know, because I'm sure one of the guys over here would want it.
Yeah, I think I'll go ahead and use it. And I don't know. It's what a J-pole. That J-pole's it's like a half. The matching is what, a quarter wave, and then I think above that you got a half wave. So
Yeah, you have a half wave
a half
plus the,
wave
above
on
the
a half
start.
wave on 6 meters would be 3 meters.
Yeah,
3
9
meters.
feet.
3 meters is almost 10
Yeah.
feet.
roughly
No.
9 feet.
Yeah.
I call it 9.5 feet.
Yeah,
maybe
and
10.
then you've got a quarter wave, which would be half of that. 9 would be about 4.5. So it'd be 10. It'd be about 14 feet tall.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys, we're coming to the end of the show here. Let's say goodnight to everybody. Thanks for joining us. This has been Amateur Radio Roundtable, a show about ham radio, shortwave electronics. We are glad you're with us tonight. If you're out there listening on WBCQ, send us an email. Let us know where you are. Or send that to Tom at w5kub.com. And we'd love to hear from you. Be sure and check the subscribe button there on YouTube. We're on YouTube. We're on Facebook. We're on, what's the other one we're on? I forget.
Well, you said Twitch, but we didn't make
well,
Twitch
not
tonight.
Twitch. Let's see. Facebook. Man, I'm losing it, man. X, yeah. We're on X. We're on Twitter. I'll just say that. We're on Twitter.
Yeah,
So
Twitter.
we're everywhere.
Twitster is what people call it
We're
now.
just about everywhere there. Join our Facebook group. We got a group of almost 15,000 hams, and it's just called. You can find it by just typing in W5KUB in the search bar. 73, and good night to everybody. And we glad you're with us tonight, and we'll see you next week. And why is this stuff not starting? Well, let's go on. Let me start this over.
Can't see it.
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.